So, RZ Alkmaar faced Shakhtar Donetsk. It was 2-2 on the night, but Shakhtar Donetsk go through on aggregate. They will be the opponents for Crystal Palace in the semi-finals. AEK of Athens against Rayo Vallecano, 3-1 on the night to AEK, but 4-3 on aggregate to Rayo Vallecano. Then we've just seen there Fiorentina 2-1 winners on the night, but Palace did enough in the first leg. They go through an aggregate 4-2. And Strasbourg and Mainz 4-0. Strasbourg won on the night. That sent them through 4-2 on aggregate. So this is the route to the final. That grid, it's a little hard to read with the green there looking a little bright, but I promise you it's totally filled in. And those are what we have. So Strasbourg against Rayo Vallecano on one half. And there you can see it. Shakhtar Donetsk against Crystal Palace in the...
It feels to be in a semi-final.
This is unbelievable, obviously. For this football club, it's sensational, really, when you think, obviously, the FA Cup last year, and then to keep going, creating a new chapter in the book, it's phenomenal.
You've just been over to celebrate with the fans, and there's quite a few here as well. It's a great moment for them and for all of you.
Yeah, 100%. They've stuck by us in the difficult times this season, and hopefully we can go and deliver something really special.
You had to work hard for it tonight, didn't you? I think you probably knew that before you kicked off.
No, I think it was a tough game. It was very tough. You don't really know how it'll go. 3-0's a dangerous scoreline, and we've managed to get through, so who cares?
Nothing I think you could do. Was there about either of their goals? Probably were unsighted on the second one.
I didn't see the second goal, to be fair. I couldn't quite see it. One sec.
Zamina! You're just conducting the orchestra. Listen, you can go and win this, can't you?
Of course, yeah. That's what the aim is. The togetherness in this group, business end of the season, we come together. We go.
The only thing I think tonight was maybe a couple of injuries. I don't know what you would know half-time with either Adam or Maxence.
I'm not sure, but at the end of the day, the gaffer keeps speaking about we need everyone. The togetherness in the group's phenomenal, and we've just got to keep pushing on.
And one last thing, I know you had a little word with your old United teammate David De Gea at full-time. You'll know what it's like to be on either end of these results.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Obviously, it was our day today, and we've just got to keep going, build momentum, keep going.
Well done, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah, brilliant. Dean Henderson saying he didn't quite see some of the goals that were conceded tonight. We'll have a look at that. But what a night for Palace, conducting the crowd there. Those fans, I feel like they're going to have a great night tonight.
Yeah, so they should. It's not often you get to celebrate these occasions and be safe in the Premier League as well. So all round, it's been a positive season so far. Should
we have a look at Ismail Assar's goals? 17th minute, his 17th goal of the season. This is his best scoring season. Like, what is he doing so well?
I think he's had a great season. I think he can score with his head, with his feet. It doesn't really matter. I think when he gets in them areas of the football pitch, he's just a real danger. He caused them a threat in the first leg. He was one of the better players in that game. So in this leg as well, you just know in that instance he's gonna hit the back of the net, and that's what he signed him for, and he's proven to be a great sign. Like you say, 17 goals this year is brilliant. In this competition, especially 7 goals is great, and they've relied on him a lot this year, especially with Mateta being out for a period of time.
Absolutely, in the header, it was similar to what we saw last week at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, and I think that's I think the quality of last week's header was sensational, but I think the variety of goals, like James said, he's key. I think he's always scored good goals, but the kind of goals, the less glamorous ones, but equally as important, I think he's added them to his game, and they're the ones that get you tally up, and all of a sudden you get to 17, and as I said, he's known for pace and being exciting, but when you can recognise that through experience and scenarios. So, yeah, it's a positive season.
Look, Palace, I'm going to say got away with it tonight because they conceded a penalty, but it didn't cost them. Is that something that they're going to have to learn or just remind themselves as they go even deeper in this competition?
Yeah, I think this game was going to be a tricky time, bearing in mind how good Fiorentina have been in the past years in this competition. And they've made light work of them, really. But from here on in, they can expect some really tough games, some good quality in the competition now. So it's just going to be interesting to see. But they can bring the positives really from the first leg. It's the best I've seen them for a while. I think that 3-week period where they are off sort of done them a world of good, and they look like the team that we've seen in the earlier season and last season, to be honest. So now it'll be interesting to see how they fit against obviously a good Donetsk team.
Yeah, did you feel it was a penny, Charlie?
I thought it was slightly harsh. I understand that he was given because of the contact, but again, I don't think a tighter game on a bigger occasion, that's given. I don't think that they're going to be made to check that.
So you're saying if that happens in the final, you're not convinced?
Yeah, and I would be very disappointed if it did decide the outcome of the final for any team, never mind Palace. But yeah, I think they do have to improve slightly. But again, if they perform like they did in the first leg, they have nothing to worry about. Absolutely.
The second goal they conceded, what was going on with Palace at that moment, or was it just a great strike from Fiorentina?
Yeah, to be fair to the lad, it was a great effort, to be honest. He obviously come in the sub and was there for this reason, really, to take a few more chances than they did. And to be fair to Henderson, it's gone through a lot of bodies there. It's the eye of the needle stuff, really, because there's so many in front of him. It's a bit unlucky from his point of view, but a great strike. I think you can just give him credit for that, really.
Yeah, he said he was unsighted in the interview.
And I understand that because there's a lot of bodies there, and that's what happens when you are trying to keep a lead or defend something. You bring more people back, and sometimes more can create more problems. And there's a lot of bodies there, and I don't think it's the cleanest strike. I don't think he's meant to draw it away from Dean Henderson, but it is a strike that warrants going in.
All right, well, we hope to hear from in their European tour, and it will certainly continue as they go into the semi-finals. But at what cost did this come at? Because let's talk about this. Adam Wharton, he was the first one to come off after going injured. And I said to you, Julie, and I turned to you and I said, he looks really upset.
Yeah, again, I think that's an injury that he's suffered from early in the season. And we did question whether Leclerc needed to start the game due to their yellow cards. But I'm more confident Leclerc will be fit sooner rather than later. Has that looked like an impact injury? But for Wharton to go down unopposed, I think that's when you worry more so.
And then you've got Maxence Lacroix as well there. He didn't even look like he could bear weight on his foot as he got to the sideline.
Yeah, you're just hoping that it's just a little knock rather than there being any kind of ligaments involved. I think Adam, like you said, was a bit more worrying because it's reoccurring groin injury. You hope that it's not going to leave him out for the next leg or for any length of time, to be honest. So hopefully they can get back soon because they're both very important players for the team.
Yeah, OK, we don't want to speculate too much. We'll see if we can get some confirmation from Oliver Glasner there, but we can get a little bit more reaction now. Chris Richards is speaking to Matt Smith.
Chris, talk me through a semi-final place in the Conference League. Feels good?
Yeah, it definitely does. Very exciting. I feel like we've deserved it over the course of the year. We've had a lot of hard work, a lot of hard games. So overall, very exciting.
Yeah, is that 14 games in this competition? I think.
Yeah.
Who's counting?
It feels like it. Yeah, it definitely feels like it. But we went to the competition. Some people think of it as a consequence because we kind of got demoted to the Conference League, but we went into it with our heads held high, and we want to ultimately win the competition. So we're very excited for another set of games.
And it's fair to say it was a hard job tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a hostile environment. We started off strong, and then we conceded, and then they had the momentum for the rest of the game. And then, again, second half they came out and scored. So, kudos to them. They had a really good game. But we did what we had to do to get the win on aggregate in the end.
I guess one thing you probably didn't want was injuries tonight. It looks like you've picked up at least a couple. Any information you as a player can give me?
No insider information, but I know the two guys who did go down. They're usually pretty strong, so I'm sure that it'll be gone in the next few days. But who knows? I just know that the next person will step up. Chadi came in, did really well tonight, and same with Jeff. So I mean, that's part of the team, is that the next person's always ready.
Shakhtar Donetsk in the semis. I don't know if you've had a chance yet to even think about that.
No, not quite. We're enjoying this evening.
Yeah. And this might be the toughest test you faced all season. It might be the toughest test you yet faced with respect to the opponents. You want to go all the way to Leipzig and win this?
Of course, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So ultimately, we're going to go in there, put in some good performances, and hopefully win, and then on to the final. But we know that we have 2 games in front of us before that.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Always such a great character is Chris Richards. But let's take a look, because this is the road to Leipzig. This is the promised land that they all want to get to. And there you go. You have the 2 semi-finals all locked in. So on one side of the draw, you've got Rayo Vallecano, who will play Strasbourg. And on the other side of the draw, you've got Shakhtar Donetsk that will play Crystal Palace. I think fans just want a snapshot and have a look at that one. How much value do you place on Palace having a second leg at home in that semi-final?
Yeah, some, because obviously we know how important their fans are to their setup and how they perform, but they're facing a very difficult team and club that has so much experience playing in Europe, not just Europa League Conference, the Champions League. So this will be their toughest test, as Alan's mentioned then.
Can you anticipate what Selhurst Park will be like that night of the second leg?
It was unbelievable, obviously, in the first leg, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of show they put on for the second, for the semi-final. So, yeah, no, really looking forward to seeing how far they can go, and, you know, everyone's hoping for them to be lifting that trophy at the end of it.
Is it important what is it important that they bring back to Selhurst Park for that second leg?
A chance to go into the final. I think we've seen too many times, even tonight for Fiorentina. I think the tie can be taken away. No one's winning the tie in the first leg, but you want to give yourself a real opportunity to go there, and 1 or 2 goals maximum is a real opportunity in the balance. So, yeah, they don't want to be too far out of hand.
OK, well, it has been a brilliant night for Crystal Palace out in Florence. Maybe didn't get the result on the night, but the important thing is they certainly did on aggregate.